So this is called Retirement Plans, a Comprehensive Review. And basically what I'm doing here, the other large seminar I teach is a sort of an advanced course on taking you through a lot of things that people think are true and aren't. So it's a more complex approach. And we talk about some design issues. But this is a comprehensive review. This takes you through primarily the various types of plans, the basic rules, how to use these various types of plans. We'll talk about IRAs, we'll talk about CEBS and simples, profit sharing 401k, something called a solo 401k, which only exists in somebody's mind, money purchase plan, defined benefit plans, traditional cash balance. We're also going to talk about something called a PEP, which you're going to be seeing more and more marketing about from people who have stuff to sell to your clients. We'll talk about how probably for most of you, because most of you are in my business, which is a small plan, small employer industry, they probably are not necessary and probably inappropriate in most cases. The industry is finally realizing that, I will talk about that more, but they're finally realizing that those are primarily going to be for larger employers, potentially hundreds of employees in a plan. And even then, I'm not sure it makes all that much sense. But the people who sell stuff are out there beating the bushes because they think it's a great idea for them to get more investment money so that they can make more money on our clients. So we'll talk about that. So I am going to mostly follow through with Denise's outline, the chart that she puts together, because I think it's a pretty good approach. It's 3 or 4 pages. Yeah, 4 pages. And it doesn't have every topic, so I'm going to add a couple to it. But it takes you through the various features and benefits of each type of program. So just to go through the features and benefits that Denise provides, it's who's eligible, what are the age requirements, what are the service and compensation requirements, can you do salary deferrals here, what are your maximum contributions that you can do for employees, what about deductible limits, something that we're all concerned about, those of us who are concerned with tax deductions and retirement and tax returns. What's the limit on compensation? How high can we go? What about vesting? What's the deadline to set up these plans? And that's a change that occurred a couple of years ago. That's very attractive. When does the money have to go in? What about the non-discrimination aspects of these things? What are the rules we have to follow as regard to which employees are in and how much we have to provide and so on? And I do have a second handout that we will be going through, which is computer output of mine. It's a couple of years old, but it's still applicable. There's no great reason to update it. I'm trying to just find what I called it. It's called a test case. It's got my logo on the bottom left. It's a computer output. So I'll take you through that. What about 5500s? How complex are they? And some issues of cost. And so we're going to go through a lot of those topics. As I said, please stop me as we go if you have questions, because we're going to be moving from type of plan to type of plan. And if we get 4 plans down and you got a question about the first one, it will get confusing to everybody else on the broadcast, if not me also. So when you have questions, ask. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is something that isn't on Denise's chart. If you're trying to follow along, which you don't have to, you can just listen. That's okay too. But there is a handout from, of all people, the government. It's from the Employee Benefit Security Administration, EBSA, and it's called Choosing a Retirement Solution for Your Small Business. It's another chart. It's slightly different than Denise's, so feel free to look at it. But the one thing that is not on Denise's chart is another type of program that's worth talking about. I wrote an article about it years ago, and it's a payroll deduction retirement plan. A poor man's it's 401k, I think I called it years ago. And it is payroll deduction IRAs, which a lot of people don't even think about. And it might be the simplest solution for some of your clients that are just looking to do a particular thing. Payroll deduction IRAs are easy to set up. and to maintain is really very little work. Any employer can set them up. And basically what happens is you open up IRAs for your employees. You tell them to open up an IRA, or you arrange for the employees to open it up with their bank, with your bank, the employer's bank, for example. Or you can go to Merrill Lynch, or you can go to any one of the financial organizations, or the employee can pick their own. And the employer's job is simply to recognize what the employee wants to do and then send the money to the IRA. It's not a tax deductible number at the employer level. It may be tax deductible at the employee level. We'll talk about that in a second. An employee who wants to put away no more than the IRA limit, which is what, $6,000, 65, I forgot what the number is, this year, you can do so. So an employee can say, yeah, you know what, I really want to do an IRA, but there's no way I can come up with the money on April 15th to do it. So I'd like to put money in each week or each payroll. And if I get my employer to send it for me and withhold it from my paycheck, that's a pretty attractive thing for some people at the lower levels, the lower level that an IRA has, because you are subject to the IRA limit. The employer simply sends the money over, and that's it. It doesn't reduce the W-2. The W-2 is still reported exactly as it would have been otherwise. There is no indication that they have a retirement plan. That little box of the W-2 that says employer plan or something that you check for a retirement plan. You don't check it because this is not that kind of a retirement plan. The employee takes a deduction on their 1040, just like any other deduction they would take for an IRA contribution. And it can be attractive.